when the cat's away, the mice will play. All of us, I believe, are familiar with that proverb. When the cat's away, the mice will play. In fact, we might been through our life either the cat or one of the mice. We have depictions of this parable in all sorts of movies and sitcoms when parents leave to go away and especially their teenage children start to play and wreak havoc on the house, maybe having their friends, having party, drinking, smoking, doing all sorts of things. We have it even in the workplace. The boss comes in, well, people sometimes scramble to their desk or look busy rather than staying and hanging out at the water cooler. In this gospel parable today about the servants, the two different types of servants, we have coming to life when the cat's away, the mice will play. Certainly that's true of this wicked servant and all wicked servants. All people who, when the authority figure isn't around, they decide to do what they want or do things that they otherwise wouldn't do. And so we hear this parable, and Jesus tells it to us to remind us to be like the faithful and prudent servant. That we should not need God to be the police person in the sky to motivate us to do what is right and good, holy and blameless in God's sight. We hear in our first reading from St. Paul to the Thessalonians to abound in love for one another and for all, to strengthen our hearts to be blameless in holiness before our God and Father. And we know that God is always present. But Jesus does not want us to make God the police person in the sky. Rather, Jesus wants us to have a transformation of our hearts and of our minds so that we are wise. We'll hear tomorrow in the gospel of the virgins, about their lamp, the wise and foolish virgins. It's all ways in which Jesus is trying to encourage his disciples not to be presumptuous. Yes, God is all-loving, unconditionally. God is merciful. God is forgiving. However, Jesus wants to motivate us not to presume that, because the sin of presumption is a sin against hope. And it presumes that God, I can do this because God is forgiving. That's God's job. But no, God's primary role, Jesus is trying to reveal to us, is to transform our hearts so that we become a people of faith, of hope, and of love. Not being a people that when the cat is away, we mice will play. Rather, we are to be the wise servants of God, our loving, merciful, forgiving Father. Jesus reveals that to us, and we ought to go forth and live that. Love in hope that we will all one day be raised up with Jesus.